Hi guys, this is the college application process for rising seniors and anyone else who wants to know. Pay attention to this. This is part 15. We're almost there. We're getting close to the end. It's been kind of fun to do this. This is, if you're watching this video sometime off in the distant future, this was made during the COVID-19 pandemic so that it could take the place of actually talking in person with students and families. And hopefully these little segments are helping you to narrow in on the topics that you don't know the answers to, or that you need a little primer on or something like that. But one of the questions that always comes my way is about paying for college and what are the best ways to reduce the financial burden to going to college. And something that has emerged in the last few years that is growing and expanding rapidly, it's really caught on, is the concept of early college. Doing college classes before you leave high school that will earn you college credits towards associate's degree or a bachelor's degree or a certificate, for a trade or something like that. So there are an ever expanding amount of opportunities to do this. About 7 years ago, we first explored the idea of early college classes in the high school, actually being high school classes that were approved college classes that we taught right at Bangor High School and still do. And students earned general education course requirements, college, those typical classes that every college student has to take, usually in their first year of college, things that are really at a basic level for college, but an advanced level for high school. And it acts as a good connector or bridge, to borrow a term from the Bridge Academy, or Bridge Year, as it used to be called, through the United Technology Center, and to connect high school students with college. And one of the big benefits to that is this program actually allows students to get college credit at not only early, but also at a massively discounted rate. And so that concept has really taken off, and it has taken a lot of different forms, and a lot more people are participating in them. So I want to talk about a few of the ways that students can take early college credits while still in high school. This is really helpful if you're watching this and you're going into your sophomore year or into your junior year. But if you're a rising senior and you want to make a change to your schedule to take one of the dual enrollment or early college classes that we offer, you do have the opportunity to do that. It's still not too late to be able to get a few of those on board. When you consider that you're going to pay about $1,000 per course for a 3-credit course, and at some of the lowest cost universities, you're going to pay $600. So, and that's the full price. So if you can get a class for $84, that's a pretty good bargain. And to get them early allows you to start college already, already deep in a semester, or sometimes even a whole year in. That means you're going to be able to graduate early on the other end, and get out into the workforce sooner. So it has a multitude of financial benefits to take early college courses. One thing that before I really delve into these, I want to remind you too that this should all be done through consultation with your teachers and with your school counselor, because taking college classes is difficult. Taking college classes early adds another layer of challenge. So sometimes I've seen students maybe bite off a little more than they could chew, so to speak, and got in a little over their heads with some early college classes, and it was harder than they thought it might be. So it ended up being a little bit of a struggle. So early college classes with consultation with your school counselor, with consultation with your teachers, and with consultation with mom and dad. It's important that parents also, seeing the financial benefit of this, don't try to overload their kids with work that is too difficult. We want students to use the opportunity of early college credits to kind of wade into high school instead of diving in head first. So remember that if you are a sophomore and you can take an AP class or an early college class, understand that you are working at least 2 grade levels above your age peers. So just kind of keep that in mind. So on this screen, what we have is I have 4 types of early college opportunities that students at Bangor High School can take advantage of. We have a very popular, very robust advanced placement program at Bangor. There are 22 different AP courses, and a couple of those courses, including economics and physics, actually carry with them 2 AP exams that students could earn college credits for. A number of the courses also, depending on the college that you go to, will award credit in more than one class for having done the AP class. So AP gives a lot of opportunities. And I'm going to talk about each one of these specifically, one at a time here in just a second. Then we have dual enrollment, sometimes called concurrent enrollment courses, where you take a course for high school credit that is also a college class. So we have 8 of those at Bangor High School, and those courses are taught by high school staff, but they are certified as adjunct professors at either the University of Maine, in the University of Maine system. Usually we do a lot through the University of Maine at Fort Kent. So it's a college class that we teach at the high school. And instead of it being condensed into one semester, it's spread out through the whole year. I'm going to talk more about the specifics in a second. But that gives you a chance to use a high school and college credit simultaneously with one course. There are articulation agreements, which are arrangements where you can take a class at Bangor High School, and the final exam at the end of the year is equivalent to the final exam for that course at a college. Hassan uses this quite well with us, and you just get to the end of the year and you have to pass the final exam for the high school course, and that can earn you college credit. So it's a little bit of kind of a cross between a dual enrollment class and an AP class. And then there are early college opportunities through the University of Maine system, through Eastern Maine Community College, Hassan. They all do them, where you can actually either online or on campus take university courses that are scheduled at the university and enroll and take those classes. You can take them in the summer. Some of them are night classes. Some of them are weekend classes. Some of them are semester-long courses. And the university system sees the benefit of attaching students to college at a little bit of an earlier age. It helps ensure that students go to college. It helps giving you a head start and give you an idea about the rigor of college. So all of these things have great benefits other than just the financial benefits of taking classes ahead of time and getting them out of the way. One family that I spoke to, 2 children taking AP and early college courses, it saved that family $28,000 in tuition if they had not taken the early college route and paid for those classes in college instead. One of the students in that family graduated a semester early, and the other student changed their major kind of in midstream, but it didn't require them to have to take an extra semester or an extra year of college, because they had already kind of bought and paid for one by doing early college credits. So when you start talking about this, you start saying, well, a family of 4, 2 children going to college, and it can save you $28,000. Now we're talking. We're talking about a lot of money that can be saved for families. So I'm introducing these options strictly from the point of view of financial aspects of college, but do consider the point that I made at the top, which is that they're not all a good fit for everybody. You can't just go and sign up for an AP Physics class. You actually have to be able to do that class. It's an extremely difficult class. To be able to go to the University of Maine to take a class, you're going to need transportation. It needs to fit into your schedule. A lot of things like that. But let's talk strictly about how this is going to help you and your family financially. First off, we've got advanced placement. As I said, we've got 22 advanced placement courses at Bangor High School. And the way college credit is awarded for these, it depends upon the university that you go to and what their requirements are. But AP classes, credit is granted based on a test score. So when you take an AP class like AP U.S. History, Advanced Placement U.S. History, you will take that course throughout the school year. In May, you will take an AP exam. It is scored on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being the best. Depending on the college that you're going to, they might give you college credit for that class if you earned a 3 or better. Some require a 4 or better. Some expect you to get a 5. Every college has an AP equivalency chart. It'll tell you what score you need to get on the test, and it'll tell you what college class you will receive credit for by getting that particular score on that particular AP exam. So that's how it works. The benefit is that it is a national standardized curriculum. It is recognized across the nation. So a student sitting in an AP exam in Maine and a student sitting for the exam in Texas are going to get the same test. It is based on the same curriculum. And so what an AP score means to a student in Bangor is the same thing that it means to a student in Los Angeles. So that gives the colleges confidence that you've taken this course and you've mastered a specific curriculum that matches college courses that they offer. It is recognized as the highest level of a high school curriculum. So the highest level of U.S. history that you can take in high school is AP U.S. history. At Bangor High School, it is weighted as an honors course. And so that helps with the GPA and a lot of other things as well. The credit is extremely predictable. So you can look at a university's admissions policy with regards to AP credit. You can look at your score, you can look at what they offer, and you're going to know what you've got. Some downside to it, the test does cost $100. You pay for it in the fall, and the test is given in May. Now, you don't have to take the AP exam if you take an AP class. You can take the AP class and not take the exam, but you're not going to get college credit for it. So, but if you take the exam, you pay the $100, take the exam and get a 1, you're not going to get college credit for it. So that's kind of one of the limitations or drawbacks. You won't know if you get the credit until the test score is received in July. So you take the test in May, the scores are released in July, and if you have graduated from high school, you then will advance your AP scores. You'll have them sent to the university that you're going to attend, and they'll counted accordingly. So these are great opportunities all around. But like everything, there are some, drawbacks or some risks that you have to consider. Then there are our dual enrollment courses. As I said, we have 8 dual enrollment courses at Bangor High School. This is where you actually register as a college student, and you take the course at Bangor High School. and you receive college credit based on the grade that the teacher gives you. Just like if you go to college, you sign up for a class, you take the class, the professor gives you a grade, that's what goes on your transcript. So that's how it works. You are enrolled in the class at Bangor High School. You enroll in the class as an off-site, if you will, student at the university, and it's the discretion of the teacher of the class to give you the grade. The name of the course matches the name of the course at the university that sponsors it. Most of them are University of Maine at Fort Kent. They are fully transferable. So if you go to the University of Maine, or you go to Husson, or you go to St. Joseph's College instead of UMaine Fort Kent, it would transfer just like you had gone to Fort Kent and taken the class there. So there are, as I said, there are 8 dual enrollment classes taught at Bangor High School. There is a U.S. history. There are 3 math courses. There's an English class, public speaking. Which one am I forgetting? There is psychology, which we teach at night in the spring semester. And we are looking to add chemistry and adding a second year of English as well. So that would actually bring us up to 9 dual enrollment classes at Bangor High School. So the drawbacks to this, it's not recognized as an honors course. It is recognized as a 4.0 for an A. It doesn't get any GPA bump for taking this class. And the class costs $84. So that is cheaper than an AP exam. And there's also a little bit more of a guarantee. You stick through the class throughout the year, you're going to get a credit for it. Now, one other drawback that I should add into that too, though, is that once you sign up for the class, you are considered a college student. So if you fail the class, if you withdraw from the class, if you get a D, that's the grade that you're going to get, and that will go on your college transcript. So that's something to consider. So before you jump into it too soon, consider those risks. An articulation agreement, you take a class at Bangor High School. For example, statistics. We have AP Statistics, which follows the AP program. We also have a Level 1 Statistics, and that class has an articulation agreement with Husson University. You can take the Level 1 Stats class. At the end of the school year, you take the final exam for our high school class, and if it meets a certain score, it is correlated with the college final exam, and you can earn the college credit based on that final exam score. So the benefits, there's no fee, there's no registration, no advance fee. You can wait and see how well you do. The class will produce a college transcript, so if you're going to go to Husson, they will add statistics to your college transcript. And the class counts as a high school credit and a college class. Problems is that it's not recognized as an honors class, and it's only free if you go to Husson. If you choose to go to the University of Maine instead, you have to pay a $100 fee for that class. But even still, when you think about it, $100 for an articulation agreement, $100 for an AP exam, and $84 at the most for a dual enrollment class. If you took one of each, you're going to pay less than $300, and you're going to basically get about 90% off the face value of a college education. So you're going to save yourself about $2,700 just on those 3 classes, and that's a pretty significant savings. Then there are early college classes. These early college classes are you sign up for them right through the University of Maine system, for example, has a portal that you can sign up through. There's a web page on each of these universities' website to go to and to find classes that you can take as I said, either on campus, in person, with other college students, or online, in the online environment. Something that's been very helpful during the COVID-19 pandemic is a lot of students have taken advantage of, well, if I'm going to be home, if I'm going to be a little bit isolated, I'll use my time wisely and take an early college class. They can be taken in the summer. They're taken at a semester at a time instead of throughout a whole year. So I've had students that have signed up for 3 classes at Bangor High School. That's 3 high school credits. Every student has to take 6. And then they take 2 early college classes at the University of Maine or at Husson or at Eastern Maine Community College, 2 of them in the fall, 2 of them in the spring. Those are a credit apiece. So a student could actually get 8 high school credits in 1 year. One of the nice things about an early college class is it's a little bit more like going to college. Instead of taking 5 classes at a time at college, you can take 1 or 2. So again, you can wade into the process. You can use them as dual enrollment credits or not. You don't have to report them to the high school. These are classes that you take at college. The only thing where you would have to use them as high school credit is if it was taking the place of a required high school course. If it was your third science class, or if it was your art class or something like that, you would have to count it as your high school credit. But that's something you would work out with your school counselor. The only real problem to this is it's not recognized as an honors class. And some students choose to keep it off their transcript specifically for that reason. Some students you can wait and see what you get for a grade. If you get an A, you can turn it in for a high school credit that way too. So there's lots of flexibility with this, and these are the 4 biggest ways to get early college credit. So you can save yourself thousands of dollars, just looking at the class, and paying $84 to $100 to replace a college course. You can also look at it if you get 5 early college classes of any variety, AP, dual enrollment, early college, articulation agreement. 5 of them would equate to a full semester at a university. And so this is really beneficial to a student that really knows what they want to do in college. And they're anxious to get past the gen ed requirements that every college student has to do in their freshman year, and can delve right into some of those higher level classes when they get started. So one closing story, I know of a couple of scenarios that I'd like to share with you. I know a student that utilized some early articulation agreements that were through the United Technology Center, and they ended up graduating from high school, graduating from college actually with a degree in education a year early. So this young person was not even 21 years old yet and was employed at an elementary school in the area. Another example that I can give you is also a student that graduated a year early and was more interested in automotive work, and so graduated from Eastern Maine Community College with an associate's degree at age 19, and was able to enter the workforce and started to earn money in a good-paying job rather than working a part-time job at minimum wage to try to get through and pay for college. So there's a lot of a ripple effect of financial benefits when students take early college credits and do well in them to be able to not just get to the next level of going to college, but to get into employment and to start their career sooner, and makes it easier to pay off debt and all kinds of things like that. So please do, if you haven't already, give some consideration to some of these early college opportunities. They're out there, they're available, and when you find the right fit, they're really super. So consult your school counselor, and I hope you found this informative. Thank you for joining us for part 15. Only one left, and part 16 is specific to the COVID-19 era and what kinds of things to expect differently from colleges with COVID-19 restrictions. So with that said, thank you for joining, and I'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.